And now, it's Boomer Life, lifestyle discussion designed to make your life more engaging, meaningful, and complete. Celebrating the baby boomer generation, this is Boomer Life on CIL 650.
Wake up, little Susie, wake up. We've both been sound asleep. Wake up, little Susie, and weep. The movie's
The Everly Brothers and Wake Up Little Susie. Good morning and welcome to Boomer Life here on CIL 650 as we were waking up with the Everly Brothers, hopefully after a really good night's sleep, because that's what we're here to talk about with our friends from Innovative Sleep Solutions in South Surrey, White Rock. Always a pleasure to welcome Dave Temlett and Terry Harder back to Boomer Life. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Sterling.
Good morning, Sterling.
Terry, tell us a little bit about after the last show. You had some folks drop by Innovative Sleep Solutions, come into the store saying, hey, you're the guys that are on the radio, right?
Absolutely, Sterling. We had some exciting things happen on the show. First of all, on this Saturday, the day that we had aired the show, a customer had come into the store and he was actually listening to our segment on his radio. It was 11:45. It's on, as you know, between 11 o'clock and 12 o'clock, actually. And it was amazing. He came in and looked at our organic latex mattress. He had known a lot about us off the website as well. Mm-hmm. He had talked to us, and then amazingly enough, I spent a little bit of time with him, and then was very fortunate off of one of our province ads that we run twice a month. I had a customer come in, and I had to write up cabeza, so that kind of interrupted me. So Dave took over and spent some time with the customer, did a great job explaining the benefits of our organic latex mattress, and he ended up, he actually had it delivered last Saturday, so I'm sure he's sleeping better than he has in a long time. And then on this Sunday, the day after the show, I had another customer come in. It was particularly rewarding for two reasons. One, when the customer come in right away, she'd ask me if my name was Terry, and I said yes, so she'd recognized my voice from the radio.
Well, there you go.
And that was exciting. And then also the other part was that some of the things we talk about, as an example, memory foam, and how if your room's cold, the memory foam is very, very hard, and that really hit home with her and really was one of the reasons why she came in. And now she's been sleeping on our magnet beds for about 2 weeks. She has very bad back, so I'm hoping that she's sleeping better. We will touch bases with her in the next couple of weeks, but very excited about the show. We're really starting to, that investment counseling that we talked about before is really paying dividends, and this is our avenue for getting out there and getting our message out, and it's exciting, Sterling.
And the counseling, David Temlett, is invest in your rest. That's what it boils down to, doesn't it?
Well, pretty much. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, unfortunately, a lot of people don't realize just how important a really good quality mattress is,
right,
and how essential it can be to assisting with getting a good night's sleep.
And talk to us a little bit now that Terry has sort of connected us to clients and people who listen to CIL 650 and enjoy Boomer Life. Back us up a couple of steps here, because Terry just launched right into.
He sure did.
And it's wonderful. This is so gratifying, guys. I mean, I love it when people come back to me with the kind of stories that, A, people are enjoying Boomer Life, and some of the content of the shows that we put out there are hitting home. People resonate. These ideas, these concepts, and some of these approaches clearly resonate with people. And you guys have been at it. You've been guests and partners here in Boomer Life long enough to know now, Dave, that there are enormous benefits to being regular guys on the Saturday show on CIL.
Oh, there sure is, Sterling. I mean, this show has been very instrumental in our success and our growth with respect to the market share that we're penetrating. Just having an opportunity to really talk in depth and make recommendations to people and clarify some misnomers out in the marketplace.
Sure.
Such as a lot of people think to get good support, you have to have a really hard bed, and that's not the case at all, because the support is going to come from how the mattress is going to keep your spinal alignment, to keep you in the right positioning, taking pressure from pressure point areas. And if you're on a hard bed, you're actually increasing pressure on pressure points. So it's really, this has been a great avenue for us moving forward here. yeah, I just can't say enough about the show.
Well, and kind of fun too. I mean, let's face it. You two together have a combined experience of over 50 years.
Is that all?
In the sleep business? You go back. My goodness, Dave, you go back to Woodward's down
Yes, I do.
down there in Gastown, for crying out loud.
Sure do.
And Terry, you've worked with some of the big box stores. You've worked together under a previous flag. So this is a long-standing relationship. And when people come into the store looking for those guys on the radio, they always find you, and they are, I imagine, probably more than pleasantly surprised that you have the time to just stop and have a conversation about their needs and their requirements and their general overall health, and just an opportunity to demonstrate the experience and the knowledge that you two have accumulated in the biz.
Well, that's very true. We make the time that it takes to, number one, put a customer at ease, because it's very imitating for most people going out looking for a mattress. They have no idea what to look for.
Well, that's true.
And we take it a step further, because everything that we do, what makes us different than any other mattress retailer out there, is that we focus specifically on what the consumer's health, how it benefits their health. So every single mattress in the store is going to have the healthiest foams available in the marketplace. So if it has a petrochemical-based foam product, we do not bring it in. It does not hit our floor.
That gives you those off-gassing realities that you just don't want to deal with, right?
Absolutely. There's lots of chemicals.
So you don't even stock them.
We don't bring anything in like that.
Good for you.
So it's all Certipure foam, which is made from plant-based oils, or it's latex. And that's what the comfort layers on top of the coil spring mattresses will have on them.
Right.
That's what will be in the actual core of a lot of the mattresses where there are no coil springs. So then in addition to that, we have the medical magnet therapy beds. We have 100% certified organic latex. And the list goes on and on.
Terry, I think it goes without saying, but we need to say it more and more all the time. As Dave mentioned just a couple of minutes ago, a good night's sleep is very, very important to one's overall good health, is it not?
Absolutely, Sterling. I think a lot of us take that for granted.
You bet we do.
And it's something that we shouldn't, as time goes on in our lives. I don't really like to say that as we age, but we do age.
It's boomer life. We're kind of getting used to it.
It's reality, but also another reality is that a lot of the ailments we have can be directly alleviated and or diminished by the quality of our sleep. And there's no question there's a direct correlation between the quality of our sleep and the quality of our health, which ultimately relates to the quality of our life.
Right. And so when people come into the store, and Dave, as you were saying a moment ago, they're looking for a conversation. They listen to you guys on the radio. They know the fact that you have a lot of experience between you, 50 years plus between the two of you. Mm-hmm. They know that you're experts. And they know that just the name of the company, for goodness sake, Innovative Sleep Solutions, says a lot about why they're there. Because they have issues that perhaps they have been unable to discuss with someone who can understand what they're talking about ever.
Well, absolutely, and it's so famous going into any given big box retailer where the commissioned salesperson is basically trained to get the customer onto a product and ask for a sale and get them written up on a deposit and get them into the system and move on to the next customer. And that's not how you buy a bed.
Right.
That's not the way Terry and I do it. Terry and I both used to work for Sleep Country Canada, and we learned an awful lot working with them. And what they do is a little different from how we do things. We don't sell all the add-ons, the mattresses, the pillows, mattress pads, the sheets, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
That's where they make the money.
Mm-hmm.
And we're really about selling the customer the mattress. That's what we focus on, is getting the right mattress for their specific needs. And that's why you have to open up a dialogue and truly understand what it is the customer needs, what it is that they're looking for, what issues do they have at hand, and how can we make recommendations to improve that for the customer.
Right. Terry, I wanted to pick up on something that Dave was talking about earlier, and it's one of these sort of urban myths when it comes to buying a bed. First of all, I completely agree with Dave that most of us are completely mystified when it comes to shopping for beds. We really just sort of wander into a store and go, gosh, what can we afford? And that's sort of where it stops. We don't have a lot of questions. We don't know what to ask. And if we go to one of those big stores that Dave was just talking about, we're going to get sold something rather than have an opportunity to have a consultation with a professional who understands that there is a health benefit and a health relationship between where and how I go to sleep every night and how I get up in the morning.
Very well said, Sterling. And just last week I had a customer that called me near the end of the day, came in about 6:45, and said exactly that. First of all, she mentioned her experience that we've talked about where we encourage people to shop around, and she'd already been shopping around. And right away she felt very pressured at another retailer. And when she came into our store, she felt very relaxed because she knew that she was going to be able to get some information, and she knew very little about the beds. Her husband even said, this is such a difficult purchase because I really don't know what I'm buying.
Sure, sure.
And so that was my opportunity to educate them. So I spent some time educating them, found a bed that they really loved, although it's an insurance claim, and it is a little more than they had initially planned on spending, but they're still actually would be letting me know probably today, so I'll be able to talk about that on the next show, what happened with that.
Sure.
But at the same time, it was very rewarding to educate them, where at the end, I'd offered him a bed, and he says to me, because this is what he gets out there, that the sale was over tomorrow, and yeah, well, we don't typically, I mean, sometimes, yes, I mean, we're going to get a price increase, or we're on some sort of a special reduced price from the manufacturer, but that's not generally how we work. Is that the customer said, well, how long will that bed be offered for? And I said, well, we don't work like that. How long do you need it to be offered for? I said, it's not about that. It's, again, about finding you the right bed. I don't want to bully you into making a decision sooner than you're ready to make one.
Right, right.
So
Trying
the
to create the
customer,
urgency.
exactly. So there's no urgency created, although the urgency is that the bed that you now have is not working for them. So there's enough pressure on the customer already to get something. And so, again, we encourage people to come in. You're going to notice a different approach. And if you feel you don't know a lot about beds, you're going to find out a lot about beds.
And that's the key. And that's what we've been talking about since you fellows started showing up here on Boomer Life on Saturday mornings on the radio. The fact is that most of us don't know, Dave, what the heck we're talking about. We know what we want, kind of. We want a good night's sleep. But how to get from A to B, we need information. We can go online and we can Google this, that, and the other thing, and that's helpful. But still, when you go into the showroom, you need to be able to lie down on the bed and turn to a professional and go, okay, so what's this made of, and why does it feel like this? You were talking earlier about myths about, well, if you need support, you got to have a hard bed.
Right.
Well, that's just not the case at all, is it?
No, not at all. No.
So you can have a medium firmness bed and still get plenty of support, right?
Absolutely, or even a softer feeling bed will give you good support if it's got the right type of
construction.
Exactly.
Right.
You took the word right out of my mouth.
It's the ingredients, isn't it?
It is.
So talk to us a little bit about the types of mattresses that people, because you've told us, we had a coffee before we started, you were telling me about people come into the store and they've actually bought a mattress in the last 2 or 3 years. They went to one of those big box stores and they spent a few $100s and they bought a mattress, and they're in your store only 2 or 3 years into the new one going, well, you know, we just kind of bought this recently, but it's just not the right thing.
That happens a lot.
We're going to move it to the guest room, and we're going to put something under us that we really want, and this is not what we want.
Yeah, that particular story you're referring to, Sterling, was actually a customer that Terry had in last weekend, and they had purchased a Tempur-Pedic bed, which is a memory foam product, and it's not giving them the support. It's very, very hot, holds the body temperature. They have a cold bedroom to try to combat that, so that makes the memory foam firmer. And there's so many different ways. We hear stories like this 2 or 3 times a week, where a customer has bought a bed 2 or 3 weeks ago, and that bed, the couple that you just mentioned, they actually spent over $4,000 on this top-of-the-line bed, and they've had it for 2.5 years, and they just do not like it.
And it just isn't working.
It's not the right bed for them.
Right.
So that's a prime example of a situation where the salesperson sold what was the best product for the salesperson, not the best product for the customer.
Right.
And that's the biggest difference between what Terry and I do for, compared to other retailers out there.
It's the hot and cold part that is really kind of funny. We need to take a break here, but remind me when we come back to talk about this hot and cold, because Terry, you've talked about various compositions of foams that are more conducive to cooler air and body heat and spreading it around more evenly. People don't know about this stuff. Here's a person whose bed makes them hot, so they compensate by opening the window open wide, and the cold air coming in from the window makes the foam in the bed harder.
Hard, yeah.
So I mean, you're just going around and around in a circle. You're not accomplishing anything there. So we'll talk more about hot and cold, among other things. Our guests, Dave Temlett and Terry Harder, the sleep solution experts from Innovative Sleep Solutions in South Surrey, White Rock, at 3033 King George Boulevard, to be precise, and online at innovativesleep.ca. And we're back with lots more on Boomer Life after this quick timeout.
Celebrating the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life on CL 650.